Hotep Senuhena Senut Tiren Ishaka Nugukemet. I hope you're doing well. I just want to check the sound first. That's beautiful. Sounds lovely. The title of this video is Asar Imhotep says that Diop is inconsistent, then he pretends to know French. I did not put the link to get on the panel in the chat because this will be a brief live stream. After this live stream, I'm planning to do another one, and then I will share the link so everybody who wants to get on the panel is welcome. I'm going to share 5 minutes from a Saw Him or Face video. Which video that is, I'm going to show you right now. You see the title? May 15, 2022. This current year. I saw him or fake made a 3-hour live stream entitled Sorry, Diop did not show his work on the word Kemet. Like I've said before, though he's a liar and I don't expect him to tell the truth, but feel free to ask him if he did not modify the title of the video before the live stream. He announced it days before, maybe a week before. And I recall that the title said, Sorry, Diop did not do the work. But then he modified it and put Diop did not show his work. But I'm not tripping on that. If somebody asks him, he might just deny it. So that's fine. Now, before I share it, let's read the description. Join me on Sunday, May 15 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time at the Mbongi as we go over Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop's chapter 5 of his Parenté génétique de l'Égyptien pharaonique et des langues négro-africaines, 1977. We will show that the necessary steps to do proper etymology was not taken in this text and why we cannot accept a priori Diop's argument that Kem equals Wolof Hem, charcoal, and Kemet equals black people, i.e., the blacks. This will be a linguistic workshop that shows the importance of showing your work, like in mathematics, when making a linguistic argument. So please bookmark your calendars, like and share this link with friends and colleagues. So, this is in the chat. This is the link to the video right after the title. And I'm going to timestamp 1:4:55. Hour 1 minute 4 second 55. Let's listen up. I will play just 5 minutes.
here, and then we get to chapter 5. So this is chapter 5, right? Uh, and let me go here. So, alrighty. So this is the text. So keep in mind that his argument for Kemet is essentially 3 or 4 pages. It's really kind of three, but it ends on the 4 page. So it goes to page. Let me see, my bad. Maybe 5 pages. So it is. What is that? That's one. So 92, 93, 94, 95, and then kind of ends there. So from page 92, 3, 4, 5. So it's just 4 pages, as I said. So this is kind of like half a page right here. So notice that there is no series, and this is exactly what I said, that there is no series, no comparative series between the words Kim or the words in the Egyptian language that have Kim as the root and words in the Wolof language. He just he just only deals with this word black. And remember what we said when it came to the the doing etymology, that this research in time relies on good etymologies of words that exemplify sound laws and irregularities of word formation. And Sheikh Anta Diop does not do that in this text. He just takes one word, and you can see this form here. So remember, I said he's Sheikh Anta Diop is inconsistent in what forms of the word that he's comparing. So in that other one that we saw on page 41, let's go back to page 41. Here we go. You can see he has Kim, Kemet, and then he has in Wolof KHEM, black, charcoal, right? But when we go to page 92, where am I? Oh, that's bad. I went too far. Here we go. He has HEM. So this was, initially confusing for me because anyone who knows about, phonology and the like, we have to be consistent with, how we're representing. And so, in kind of modern dictionaries, what he's representing as this sound here is usually going to be given as an X in the dictionaries, right? So let's read what he says. So you know, this is particular expressions and terms in French. What he's saying here. So what he does first is he does the comparison with Kim, and this is a pile of burning coals, and in the actual water bush, he'll have another word there that means Kim, which is a kind of a cooking stove, but he doesn't put that in here. And he says to carbonize or to burn or whatnot. And this is what is he saying here? It is not erroneous then for this hieroglyph to be taken to mean the scales of a crocodile. He puts it in quotations. Excuse me. He puts it. He ends it with a question mark. And so what he's
All right. Now, you've heard him state that Diop is inconsistent. And you've heard him pretending to read French. This is here what we had on the screen. This is how I saw him all fake the fraud, pretending to be able to read French. He pretends as if he's familiar with the French enough to read it. I'm not faulting anyone for not knowing a foreign language, but to pretend to be able to read the language. I mean, coming from this guy, I mean, this is the guy who said that he's a historian. This is the guy who said um, that he's an anthropological linguist. This is the guy who said that he studied physics. And there's so many other. This is the guy who said that Allah is Allah is an indigenous African god. And there's so many other quotes. Anyway, at the bottom, I have my translation. Now let's compare the result of him pretending to be able to read French and the proper translation. So he said, what he obviously did is he looked at words that are similar, that look alike, that kind of somehow, somewhere have the same root in French and in English because there's so many. We have words that are actually spelled exactly the same in French and in English. For example, information. In French, we pronounce it information, but it is spelled exactly the same. Now, there are other words where you will have some differences with a couple of letters, with just a few letters. So it's obvious to me because I'm more than fluent in French. I'm a native French speaker. French is my mother tongue. And it's obvious that he looked at those words that look similar and he attempted to come up with some translation. He basically wanted people to think that he knows the French language enough to make some translation. Just like he wanted people to think that he had some credentials or degrees in linguistics. And that's why when I asked him, do you have a degree in linguistics? He replied, I have a degree in computer science and we dealt with linguistics. That's being disingenuous. But anyway, he said to carbonize or to burn or whatnot. And this is what is he saying here? He's even asking the question, what is he saying here? But yet he's attempting to translate. And he added, it is not erroneous then for this hieroglyph to be taken to mean the scales of a crocodile. Then he realizes that there's a question mark. But this is the proper translation here. Pile of charcoal that is burning, or if you prefer, pile of burning charcoal. Now, to charcoal is not something that is used often in the English language, but this is basically the verb charcoal. If you look it up online on a search engine, it does exist. It is thus wrongly, or if you prefer, mistakenly, that this hieroglyph is taken for crocodile scale. And that's a question. So if you prefer, um you can just think of the sentence as is it thus wrongly? You know? So look at the difference here. Asar fake trying to make people believe that he's familiar with the French is ultimately saying it is not erroneous for this hieroglyph to be taken to mean the scales of a crocodile. When Diop actually wrote that it is wrongly or erroneous that this hieroglyph is taken for crocodile skin. It's actually it's like a interrogation, it's a question, but that's really his statement. So this is the result. This is the result. So he has the nerves to say that Diop is inconsistent, and then he proceeds to do this. And those are the this is the guy who cannot even get a translation from French to English, but yet you were supposed to listen to this dude with the meta nature to English ultimately. Now we have Big in the place to be, while Fossil, one who wrote 5 minutes is too much listening to this script, and Big wrote Isn't It Wrong? Imhotep 360 wrote Hotep Shaka. Big wrote Hypothetical Question, and Farcell wrote Asar, he's a pimp. Now, he was saying, oh, it's only like 3 pages, or it's only 4 pages. Just like when he talked about people who have PhDs. Oh, well, PhD is very narrow, it's very basics. I played that already before. Always downplaying people's efforts, people who are recognized in the field. He is not recognized in the field. He doesn't have any work that is peer reviewed in the field as we speak today. Otherwise, please direct me to it. He has a video entitled Sorry Diop Did Not Show His Work, and he's going through the pages of the work of Diop. So I'm going to put an end to this live stream. And on the next live stream, you'll have the link so you'll be able to participate. Because my brother Big informed me of something that really surprised me. Plagiarizer seems to be accepted at some university now to present. Strange. But there it is. Hotep Shaka, him a fake, is promoting a talk at the Diop conference. I'm going to show you the comment that our brother Big left, and we're going to have a look at this thing closer. But first, I have an email to send to this university because I didn't know that plagiarizers could get to speak at the university. Stay safe, stay healthy, and if I am allowed to by the Nechelo, I will definitely holler back at you. Remember, I'm going to live stream in a few minutes from now. Hotel.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more. I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka. and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also, with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medjugorje class. Hotep.